Look, this. Beautiful.
How about that?
Lovely.
Chelsea
Very
Flower Show.
spring fill.
Yeah, so we know the Chelsea Flower Show, you all know about it, stunned visitors for years and years with its beautiful displays. But this year, the organisers have created something which will deliberately exclude certain people from looking at it.
Some people will be really pleased about it. For the first time, a no adults allowed garden, designed by children, of course, for children, is going to go on display. Now, our culture correspondent, Charlotte Gallagher, is an adult, and she's with pupils at a school in Fulham who've been working on it. Charlotte, I know, obviously, you are a grown-up. Have you been able to set foot in this garden yet?
I have been told that when this garden is at Chelsea Flower Show, I'll be one of the few adults that will be allowed in this garden. And with some of the young garden designers here, who's the other adult that's allowed in the garden?
The king.
So the king and me, that's it, Nagra, I'm afraid. We're not sure if you and Charlie will be allowed in, but we'll work on that through this morning. And you've been working on this garden. What have you learnt about gardening?
Like, we learned that anyone can do at any time in any place.
So you can have a balcony or you could have house plants. You don't need a big garden, do you?
Yeah.
And what have you grown?
We grow lemon verbena and some mint.
So you can see some of the things they've been growing here. Shall we let people see your garden and what you've been working on? Yeah? Let's have a look at this garden as it's been prepared for Chelsea Flower Show. I've been invited to a top secret summit. And in fact, I shouldn't really be here. This is strictly no adults allowed. Children from Sullivan Primary in southwest London are putting the finishing touches on their very own garden for Chelsea Flower Show. So have you been learning about gardening while you're doing this?
Yeah, we've been learning about gardening for a while now.
What's been the favourite thing about doing this project?
Probably being able to design and make the garden in general, which is going to go into the flower show for everyone to enjoy and see.
I think that's the key thing when we're designing with plants. We're trying to find things that complement each other.
But it's a steep learning curve, so some grown-ups have been allowed in.
So lots of wacky ideas. And things that we are making work is going to be things like carnivorous plants, which isn't typically what you'd find in a normal Chelsea show garden. And some other wacky things that we said actually it's a step too far. I mean, crocodiles, might not work. And we had underground lakes and rivers and really big features, which we distilled into kind of more show garden format. So certainly some things won't make the cut, but other things have really inspired what we're going to be creating.
First of all, hands up, who's heard of an iris plant before? Oh, I'm impressed, more than I thought.
These irises are being planted so they'll flower in time for the show in May. The garden will also include boulders to scramble over, a stream to splash in, and a secret den. And unfortunately for me, it seems like the pupils aren't just learning about gardening.
Hello, today we are at RHS Wisley Gardens to help design our garden at the Chelsea Flower Show.
Sorry, what's going on? This is my job. What are you doing? Sorry, no.
No adults allowed.
This is a garden designed by children for children. They're getting their hands dirty, learning how to grow plants.
I was with one little girl today and she was planting an iris and I was giving her a few tips on making sure we press the soil down, and then she said to me, you know what, I want to be a gardener when I grow up. And then she stopped and then she said, actually, I am a gardener, aren't I?
The children have been sending out invitations to some VIPs.
I would love for the king to come because I would like him to see what we have been doing at the RHS.
And he's not been very well, so it might cheer him up seeing your garden.
Yeah, I think it would cheer him up because seeing children that are designing a garden is a shock, but I think it will be very exciting for him.
That's royalty ticked off. How about pop stars? If you could pick anyone to go into your garden to look at it, who would you pick?
Justin Bieber.
So big ambitions for the guest list. A king and a superstar. And you can see for yourself just how excited the children are for their Chelsea Flower Show debut. And let's talk a bit more to some of these young garden designers and trainee journalists. How's it been going? What's been the best thing, do you think, about doing this garden?
I think the best thing might be designing like the den, because
A den? A secret
yes,
den? Wow.
a secret den. Because there's like this slide that goes underwater, which I think is very cool, and a secret door, which you can only open from the inside of the den, not the outside, so adults can't come in.
Now, some adults can come in if they do certain things. Can anyone tell me about what adults have to do if they want to come into the garden?
So we made like stickers, or they have to find the flower that starts with the first letter of their name.
That's cool. And how about you? I know you're a big fan of Justin Bieber, and we are hoping you can come to this garden. Who else would you like to see there? Your mum and dad, people from the school?
I would like to invite my gran, because this morning she watched it on the news and she was very proud of me.
I'm sure all your families are so proud, because you've done such a good job. You've been working so hard all together. Who else wants to tell me what they've learnt about their garden? What did you learn about gardening?
I learned that you could garden on a balcony and you could make it into a garden.
And I know you learnt something special about planting, didn't you? About tapping the pot. Can you show us what you learnt?
If you put the soil in the pot, don't pat it down, tap it on the table.
So that's a key tip for BBC Breakfast viewers. If you tap the pot, apparently that's a lot better than banging it down. Is that right?
So, doing this is better than doing this.
Oh, okay. So some key gardening advice from the students here at Sullivan Primary. And the wonderful thing about the garden is it's not going to finish at Chelsea Flower Show. It's going to have another life here at the school. We are standing where the garden is going to be moved to, and it's going to be for the pupils at this school and pupils at other schools to come and enjoy.
Charlotte, I'm very impressed with, one, all your guests, but also the fact that you get to say the King and I are the only ones allowed into the garden. It's perfect, absolutely perfect. Charlotte, thanks so much. We'll see you later.
The Chelsea Flower Show, of course, lots of people know all about the Chelsea Flower Show. Stunned visitors for years and years. Beautiful displays. Everyone can look around everything. Maybe this year is a little bit different. One special place for a certain group of people.
Yeah, where others will not be allowed to go into. For the first time, an RHS no adults allowed garden. And it's designed for by children, will be for children, and it's going to be on display. There are only 2 adults who are going to be allowed in the garden. Our culture correspondent, Charlotte Gallagher, can tell us more. She's with pupils at a school in Fulham who've been working on the garden. It's a very, very small, privileged group of adults that will be allowed in that garden, Charlotte.
It is, Naga, and as you'd expect, it's really only the best of the best. So it's me, obviously, and the King, a real exclusive group, and people would expect us, obviously, to hang out together, wouldn't they? So that'll be there on the day, me and the King looking around this garden. And I'm joined now by some of the young garden designers, and let's have a look at some of their designs, because your design is incredible. We can see this on the camera now. Can you show us what you wanted in your garden?
In the den, so we were designing a den, this was mine. So for the entrance, I wanted like a long tube slide, which like there's a ladder on top so you could climb up and then go through the other tube slides to go in. And then there's this massive sign which says no one over 30.
But the King is over 30, you do know that, don't you?
Yeah, but I will let him in because he's the king.
He's the King.
Yeah.
Should we let BBC Breakfast have a look at what you've been doing?
Sure.
Yeah? Let's have a look now at this amazing garden that's been designed for Chelsea Flower Show. And I've been learning about gardening this morning, getting some tips from some real pro gardeners. Can you show me what you've been telling me about how to plant things?
When you put your plant in the soil, don't push the soil down from inside. Tap it on the table 3 times.
So that's a really good tip for the BBC Breakfast audience. What have you learnt about gardening?
I've learned that if you pick up like anything, like a flower or something, and you want to plant it, you don't pick it up by its roots, or else it won't plant properly.
That's a really good tip. And you, who are you thinking about who you want to come into your garden?
Like Harry Holding and Haley, everyone who helped us, like, or Miss Garnet, like...
Your teachers are allowed in if they do something special. They have to do a pledge, don't they? Commit to doing something for the environment, and they will be allowed in. Teachers aren't allowed in automatically. It's the same rule for everyone. And how about you? Who are you hoping that comes?
I am hoping that the king comes.
Yeah.
And I really hope that he can visit our garden and maybe go inside and see everything that we've been creating.
I think he'll really enjoy that. An important question here. Charla and Nagy, they're presenting BBC Breakfast. They're adults. Are you going to allow them in? They're very nice, I promise you.
No.
I'm sorry, guys. It's just me and the king, after all.
Do you know
and what would you
Charlotte?
like to say?
Back to the studio.
Yeah, you see, they're even doing my job, Nago.
Do you know what, Charlotte? I think it's great. If you design an adults-only garden, stick to it. You can have the king and, yes, perhaps you, but stick to it. I like the fact that they're just like, no adults.
Well, it'd be probably worth... Charlotte, do you want to just check if I can go?
No, you can't.
So Charlie can go, but not with Naga, just me. Can you check if that's OK?
OK, we'll just ask again. Charlie, he's saying, can he go if Naga doesn't go? He can just go on his own and Naga will be left in the studio.
No.
I'm really sorry, Charlie. I don't think you're going to be allowed in.
I can see they're sticking to the line, aren't they? That's good.
We'll have to ask if Carol's allowed in as well. What about Carol, who's doing the weather?
Maybe.
Maybe, a maybe for Carol. Don't want any rivalry being created at BBC Breakfast, but we've got a maybe for Carol Kirkwood coming in to the garden at Chelsea Flower Show.
OK. Thanks
Carol
very
gets
much,
everywhere,
Charlotte.
doesn't she? Sarah,